judges you at first. People say things like, "You're 15, still a kid yourself." But it's not true. You instantly have to grow up. All of a sudden, there's a huge amount of responsibility. But with the support of my family, it's been easier. I love being a mom, and I try my best to be as good as I can. It's not a walk in the park. It's so tiring, but I wouldn't change my little girl for the world. Age doesn't define how great of a parent you are.
Birthday, love, kisses and hugs.
Think about it, it was 70s. Paul born in 72.
When I found out Pearl was pregnant, I was 18.
And I was 18 when I was pregnant, so it was a little bit scary then.
When I found Pearl was pregnant, I thought it was lovely. It was absolutely brilliant.
I mean, I thought I was growing up. I mean, probably my mum didn't think so.
I was not scared, I was a bit apprehensive when I found out. But not scared at all.
Didn't have no regrets.
Never considered abortion, never considered adoption. The child was mine and I wanted the child.
Older women look down at you as if they were, you're not married, you shouldn't. You should be married then. When I first took him out, that was the laugh. I've got back home and my mum said to me, "Well, where's the baby then?" And I went, "What do you mean, where's the baby?" She said, "Well, you took the baby up to the shop." Oh my God, I've left him inside the co-op. So I've had to run back up and get him. Lucky enough, it was only a couple of minutes up the road. But you couldn't do that today. Really, it was safe then, you could actually take him in the shops and leave him at the front. Then you had enough room to put your pram, but down the aisles you didn't have a lot of room to take things like that, because you didn't have wheelchairs and that to go round. People would push a wheelchair round, but not those motorised ones.
The first person we told when Pearl was pregnant was her mum. And as I say, she took it quite well. She had an inkling that Pearl was pregnant because of the amount of children she had. And then we told my mother and father afterwards. Pearl's mother was a lot happier with it than what my mum and dad was.
His mum and dad weren't so keen.
When they found out Pearl was pregnant, they weren't too happy about it. But they was going to support us any way they could.
My mum seemed to know that I was pregnant, but there again she had to bear with us. But it was different to telling Paul's.
None of the people of my generation judged us because of our age, but some older people did. They were saying, "Are you sure you're old enough? Do you think you'll be able to cope? Will you have enough money?" and all that sort of thing. But no, we were fine.
Money wise, wasn't too bad. I mean, you could cope with what you had, and I was given $1.95 a week from his dad for all we needed, like your talking page, the washing them and all that lot. Yeah, $1.95 a week.
No regrets whatsoever. No regrets whatsoever. Actually, because of Pearl being pregnant at that age, we decided to have our family while we were young. So that when we got to the age we are now, we were still young enough to go out and enjoy ourselves and do the things that we wanted to do.
We managed all right. Yeah. It was a little bit different then, I suppose, because it was a bit harder, I think, because you didn't get much for like they do today from social and all.
I don't think teenagers today are as mature as what we were. Back when I was younger, it wasn't a harder life, but you didn't have so much to help you back then.
I mean, we were taught a lot more things for ourselves. You did your own washing, you did your own rooms, you did a lot more things than they do today. They get really weighted on hand and foot.
The teenagers today just don't seem to have the ability and the sense that is what we had when we were younger.
Today's kids, I don't think, are as mature as we were.
I was 17 when I found out Kath was pregnant.
I was 18 when I discovered I was pregnant.
I wasn't scared, but I was definitely a little bit worried about how I'd cope.
I was really excited and stupidly in love.
We never considered any abortion or adoption at all.
Don't agree with abortion. Never thought of adoption.
My parents reacted really well. Trying to tell them was easier than what I thought.
My sister told me that I was pregnant. You're pregnant, I'm telling Mum. She did. She said, oh, you're pregnant, I'm telling Mum. And they were all quite happy actually.
It's difficult, you know, not knowing what to do and how to do it. It was a bit of a shock.
A few of my friends had children as well, the same age, so we all used to work together. Everyone knew about it, I was fine. I was just embarrassed walking up the street with a pregnant bump because I looked so young.
It was difficult, yeah. You know, when the baby cries and you're not too sure exactly what to do and how to do it, you go through the list of what you think is wrong, but yeah, so it was a little bit difficult at times. People did judge us because we were young, because not only was we young, we looked young for our age. So we was being judged by the older generation.
I think it's more common now. I think people do it now to be in with their friends, because once one girl gets pregnant in the group of friends, then they all seem to follow suit.
I think that a lot of teens go into it with their eyes closed, not exactly knowing how difficult it is going to be. I think that there are way too many teen pregnancies, but there are some teens that are ready and do make fantastic mothers and fathers. So I'm not against it, I just think that some teens are way too young. I was young enough to be able to relate to my children, and so that made it a lot easier to play and you know, be social with them and be interested in the same things as what they was interested in. So in that respect, I did like being a teen parent, especially, you know, 10 years on and they're 10 years old and I'm only 28. You know, it was fantastic times, it really was. So yeah, playing was really, really good.
Just going out getting pregnant just because all your friends are is silly, and they'd probably live to regret it.
I was 18 when I found out I was pregnant with my son.
I was about 17, 18 when I found out about the pregnancy.
As soon as I knew I was pregnant, the thought of abortion was just disgusting to me. And why would I carry a child and then hand it on to another parent? I just couldn't do it.
Fortunately, due to complications with my son's mother, I wasn't really involved in the pregnancy a lot. Went to scans, apart from that.
And when you see dogs the way we see dogs, you just have to make
I was a
food
bit
that's
shut
suitable.
out really. And,
Food that gives them their for a day.
when my son was born, went to see him. First time I saw him was a bit emotional.
I wasn't prepared emotionally, financially, physically, whatsoever.
In the street, I get a few looks, and then certain people at the contact centre, they get the impression that because I'm a young man, they don't really listen to what I say.
I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're in a stable relationship and you're financially stable, then go for it. But me personally, I would have rather have waited.
I can still go out. I take James with me, or I wait till he's gone to bed and pop to the cinema or go out with some friends. So it's changed a bit, but you know, it works.
I had no social life to begin with, but I think it sort of made my social life more it made it more sort of unimportant in my life. It was just, my social life didn't seem that important to me after I had my son.
Things that I would have liked to have done before having the commitment of a child. But in another sense, you know, it's great having a kid, knowing that you're actually, you know, you're this kid's security, and that, you know, he's going to grow up and you're going to be able to see him progress.
There's another time where I was, you know, bouncing James up in my arms, and because I was going like wee, making him laugh, dribbled down my mouth.